Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and use the EnvisionVR 3DSMAX plugin. Before we get started, you'll need to download the MZP installer file. A download link can be found in the description below. The other thing you'll need is an open scene in 3DSMAX of the model you want to produce 360 renders for. You can see I have in front of me a simple apartment, and I've already gone ahead and hidden the roof layer. To install the plugin, simply drag and drop the EVR install MZP into the 3DSMAX window. We'll just install EVR controller, and now we can exit this window. You'll notice up here it's now created an EnvisionVR menu item. If we open that up, we can see our EVR tools, as well as an option to reload our scripts and uninstall the plugin. The first tool we'll go over is the EVR 360 Renders plugin. This tool enables us to produce 360 renders of our scene. At least it makes it easier to do so. So you can see we've got a couple of options. The first of which is we can add camera points. So this is where we define where we want our camera positions to be in the scene. We can also define an output directory for our renders. Here I'm just going to leave it as the default. And we can set up some basic render settings. So the first thing I'm going to do is start placing cameras. So I simply click Add Camera Points and just select in my model where I want my cameras to be placed. Generally, you want to put them in the center of each room. I'm just going to place 2 for now for simplicity, but feel free to place as many as you'd like. If you're not happy with the placement of your cameras, you can always move them later in the scene view. Before I go ahead and produce my final renders, I want to do a preview render to ensure that things like my lighting, exposure, materials, and models are set up correctly. So I'm going to select a 1K resolution and put in a render time of 1 minute and confirm those render settings. Here it's warning me that my scene already has a camera in it, and if I click yes here, it's going to go ahead and delete those cameras. This is a destructive step, so if you're worried, I would go ahead and save the file with a separate name prior to this step. In this case, I don't mind, so I'm just going to click yes. And here it goes. It's gone ahead and created camera points with a camera animation at my camera locations. And it's given me a warning of how long it estimates my render to take. After which, it's going to bring up the render settings with the settings already configured for 360 renders. However, if I want to go ahead and modify these options, so long as I know what I'm doing, I can do that after the fact. But I'm happy with the default settings, so I'm just going to hit render. Now it's a good thing I'm only doing a preview render, as I've noticed I've forgotten to turn my roof back on. So let me stop that render right now. Now with the roof back in its rightful place, you can see the renders are coming out quite nicely. It's going to go ahead and render every camera point in the scene for me. Now that that render's finished, I can open the output folder and just check that I'm happy that those renders have come out correctly. And they're looking good. So at this point, I can now go and prepare for a higher resolution image, so maybe 4K at 30 minutes. And when I confirm render settings, it's going to say it's going to take 90 minutes for my 3 cameras in the scene. However, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to render the final renders and just leave them as the previews. Now that our renders are complete, we can move on to the next plugin. So we can close our 360 renderer and open up the 360 viewer. You can see here it's already remembered the last output directory we've used to produce those 360 renderers. So I simply need to do nothing else other than click upload images. That's already finished, so now I can open the link. And here it's produced a website with my 360 images in it. Obviously the quality could be higher, and that would be solved by just producing those higher quality 360 images. And really, it's as simple as that. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment in the video or contact me at technology@envisionvr.com.au.